We're going to begin this hour with a story that you'll see only on CBS Mornings, and we love when that happens. It's an effort to uncover one of the darkest and most troubling secrets of Britain's upper class. King Charles has approved an inquiry into the royal family's ties to slavery, a history he has been pressured to apologize for. Holly Williams spoke with one of the king's cousins, leading a separate effort to show how other prominent families were connected to the slave trade. She joins us now from Buckingham Palace. Holly, good morning to you.
Good morning, Gayle. There are several British families leading this campaign, shining a light on this country's deep involvement in slavery. But one family with historical connections to slavery that is not taking part is the family that lives here, inside Buckingham Palace. So this is 18th century.
This is 18th century. The house is 18th century.
The Earl of Harewood is a British aristocrat, and Harewood House is his ancestral home, now open to the public.
It makes Downton Abbey look like a shack.
But it was all built with the profits of slavery.
How do you feel about this being part of your family history?
I'm ashamed that people behaved in that way and that my ancestors behaved in that way. We're accountable for that legacy today. All portraits of various ancestors.
The Earl's forebears enriched themselves with sugar plantations in Jamaica and Barbados, in which enslaved Africans toiled. When Britain finally outlawed slavery in its colonies in 1834, like other slave owners, they were compensated by the government, around $3 million in today's money.
And the slaves themselves who had been freed, were they compensated?
The slaves who were freed received nothing. And what you can see down there...
Now the Earls behind the campaign calling for other families that benefited from slavery to come clean and use their wealth to benefit the descendants of those who were trafficked. He calls it reparative justice.
It's something that people have been very much in denial about, swept it under the carpet, pretended it hadn't happened.
Why?
Guilt, shame... it's very difficult to put a finger on. I don't understand it.
The dehumanization, you can't compensate for that, but we can all work together toward doing what we can. So, you know, we may not...
Joe Williams is a descendant of British-owned slaves in Jamaica. He now leads historical tours exposing how this country profited from slavery.
But many mansions were built from this profit.
From slavery?
Yes.
British slave traders trafficked nearly 3.5 million Africans to the Americas.
I can say, hand on heart, that there are legacies of transatlantic trade which hold me and many people back from being seen as, in some cases, as human beings.
When you talk to some British people, they talk as if slavery is something that happened in America, not here.
That's right.
Why
yes.
is that?
Because of education.
You mean lack of education?
A lack, I do, yes.
Another British family with historical links to slavery is the royal family. Historians say it's impossible to calculate exactly how much wealth the monarchy generated from human trafficking. But some kings and queens were directly involved. Buckingham Palace announced this month that it's cooperating with an independent investigation into the monarchy's connections to slavery. King Charles and Prince William have both expressed their sadness.
The appalling atrocity of slavery forever stains our history. I want to express my profound sorrow.
But they've stopped short of an apology. An official visit to Jamaica last year by William and Kate drew demonstrations demanding reparations and criticism that it looked like a throwback to colonialism. The Earl is related to the royals, a great-grandson of King George V and a second cousin of King Charles.
Should they be leading the way?
We should all be doing more, shouldn't we? You can never do enough, and it's not something that's ever going to go away.
If you could talk to King Charles directly about this issue, what would you say to him?
It's a bit late in the day, so I think some spearheading to get us ahead of where we should be rather than behind.
Joe Williams and the Earl of Harewood have actually worked together on projects to educate the British public about this country's historical involvement in slavery. And now the Earl is adding to his art collection, commissioning new portraits of Black British community leaders to hang beside his ancestors. Gayle.
All right, that's a positive sign. Thank you very much, Holly Williams, reporting from Buckingham Palace. It's one of those things where sometimes you need to have the uncomfortable conversation.
That's right.
To get it out there, put it in the light. I think that that's very important to do that.
Yeah. I do. I believe that having education on issues like this is important.
Yes, I do too.
You don't forget. You learn about the past. Regardless of what side of the atrocities your bloodline existed on, I think it's important to learn about where we've been so we don't repeat those things in the future.
Exactly.
Well said.
Not like what Joe said, we should all be doing more. We could all be doing better. He's right.